Sorry, Kodak at one point in history meant pictures, photos, sharing, as well as delight. But now that mantle seems to be taken over by Instagram and subsequently by Facebook. The company agreed yesterday to sell itself to Facebook for $1 billion in cash and stock. So one question is, why didn't Kodak create Instagram instead? For more, I'm joined by Rich Torrenzano. He is the chief executive of the Torrenzano Group, and he is author of the new book entitled Digital Assassination: Protecting Your Reputation, Brand, or Business Against Online Attacks. Rich Torrenzano, good to have you with us. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so, you talk about digital assassination. This isn't so much a digital assassination, but is a slow death warning to companies that don't change, right?
I think there's for Kodak a real showing of a major misstep many years ago. Clearly, they should have been talking to the major universities and the smaller companies in Silicon Valley. They owned the image space at one point in our lifetime, and they lost it. And I think you could say the same as Salomon Brothers lost the bond space, and we could go through where IBM almost lost their space in the computer business but recovered. And we could go through corporate cultures and see that over a period of time. If you don't advance, even if you stand still, you decline. And I think it was a great comedian who once said, if you just sit there, you're going to get run over. So.
Indeed. Well, in the case of Eastman Kodak, they're now operating under bankruptcy protection. The current market value is $76 million. Now, compare that to the $1 billion that is being paid for a 12-person outfit that doesn't make any money,
right,
that doesn't have really any sales, and is now going to be part of Facebook.
But I think that 72 number is less than 1/10 or 7% of the $1 billion. But what you'd inherit by purchasing a Kodak, the pension liabilities, as we talked earlier,
right, the debt,
the corporate culture, which would not at all blend with Facebook, and all the other things that Kodak probably should have done a dozen plus years ago that they hadn't done. I just don't think that would have really meshed very well.
What's the lesson? Is the lesson that you should shake up the corporate culture before it gets too late? I mean, when you're making all the money, that's the time to shake things up?
The lesson, I think, for Kodak was if they owned the image space 20 years ago as they did, what should they have been thinking about to continue to own the image space? Because we have seen in our lifetime how the internet and the digital world has really exploded and has totally changed, put on its ear all corporate cultures in America, and said the digital world is a new world, and unless you're playing dramatically in that world, you're going to get left behind.
Do the telecom companies particularly have to be concerned?
I think the telecom companies have to be concerned. I think Facebook obviously threw a little pitch at Microsoft and as well as Google today, because Google is trying to become Facebook and Facebook is trying to do search with Google. And as these things converge, we're seeing more and more competition. So I think this really set a new set of rules in Silicon Valley. And the new rule is there are no rules.
No rules, and they're expensive.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you very much. Rich Torrenzano joining us from the Torrenzano Group. He's the author of the new book, Digital Assassins.